Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be creating something with this gorgeous paper pack from Stamperia called Stamperia Botanic. I did a flip through of a lot of new paper packs that I picked up a couple of weeks ago, and I will link to that video below so you can have a look through it at a slower pace. But basically it's beautiful botanicals, and I'm thinking, what can I do with this? And I don't want to cut the papers out too much because I don't want to lose the gorgeousness of the paper. So I think I'm going to make a journal with it. The journal size that I'm going to make, because this is 12 by 12 paper, I'm going to do a journal that is 6 inches wide, so it'll be that folded in half, and 8 inches tall. Now I'm also going to add in some of this other paper, which is just a plain craft cardstock. So I'll be using a few pieces of that to bulk the journal out a bit and give lots of places for writing on. And I'm going to do this one as a soft cover, but I may well use some fabric on the cover. I haven't quite decided yet. But today I'm just going to get the basics of the journal put together. And this is the first piece that I'm using, and I have scored it at the 4-inch mark because I'm going to create a pocket on this side of the page, and I just need to score that in the center. The center fold will be at the 6-inch mark, so that's going to be the size of my journal. I've got to fold these up obviously, and I've got to trim some of those off. So that would be one page. Now let's have a look at some other pages that we've got in here. That's the front cover. I'm not sure, I might make that the front cover of my journal because I can cover some of this, but I'm not really sure yet. So I'll pop that one to one side. They're the tags, and I've also got some other tags in here, which are these. I've got that page, this one, and this one I can use in the journal, and that one, and that one. And there was another page of tags somewhere here. Oh, here it is. This one is also tags. So I need to pop all this to one side and the back cover so I don't accidentally use it in the wrong place. I'll just put all those over there. I need to clean my table up. It's quite a mess. I've been working from home for months now, and my table's getting messier and messier. Now this one as well, that is also got tags on it. So there's quite a few tags in this pack. So I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actual sheets of paper, and the rest of the tag sheets. So I have to maximise how I'm going to use these. And also I need to be careful because these are directional, being that you want your bugs up the right way, so you don't want to be using a piece, and folding it this way, or your bugs won't be up the right way. Whereas this one here is fine. I could cut the top of that off and then use this piece somewhere else. What's on this one? And that is fine as well, also directional. Now I don't know with these if I'm going to use it as a page or cut them out, because they're just beautiful. I may well cut them out, I think, and use them as, to tuck into things or to create little tuck spots and other little things, other pockets with. And this one. So all of these are going to be part of the journal. Just have to get all this. This is where it was attached at the top, all the glue part. I need to make sure I've got all that off too. So I'll go and cut and score all of these, and also some of this brown cardstock. So I've cut and scored all of these pages down to the height that I want, which is the 8 inches. And I've cut the bottom piece off rather than the top, because often in these papers the bottom will have something on them, whereas the top will just be a continuation. So the piece that I cut off is the top piece. And also I've got all of these, so I've cut 3 pieces of brown cardstock, and this one goes around this way, and then my folded piece here. So I'll put it in the right way, it might work. So I have all of those now stacked up and this. So now I'm going to go through and start decorating it. So I'll put them to one side. Let's see. Now this one here, I have to decide, do I want this piece or that? Remembering that that's going to be on one side of the book and that's going to be on the other. So you're not going to get the whole view. But I think I'm going to do a decoration on the front of here. I've decided to use this, cut this out. And I can make this into a tuck spot here. I'm just going to round the corner of this, I think. So it's obvious that this corner is a bit different. So people might go, well, we know that comes up. Make sure I've got that up the right way. And then glue this in here. I've got these ones. Now this has got two sides on it as well, but it's not as nice as that. So I'll glue this on here. And then I'll use one of these as a tuck spot, like a postcard tuck spot. I'm rounding the corners of these because they're rounded on the sheet. So I need to make sure I've got that rounding. And because it's a specific rounded edge, it's not going to be like, it's not going to fit like that, because that's going to take the whole corner off. So you have to do it manually. And then a bit of ink on the edges. And then I will just ink this edge, which I should have done before I put it down. That's beautiful. Look at that. I might actually put it up this way so you can see it. Now, I think I'm going to do something else to it actually, because I want it to be a bit more than just the paper that's on there. I want it to have, you know, I want to put my touch, my spin on this paper. And this lace, I think, is just beautiful. Now the question is, will I sew it on or will I stick it on? Now if I sew it, I'm going to have a stitch line on the back. So I may well just stick it on. Otherwise I'm going to have a line on the back that I'm going to have to try and cover up. And this glue, this Helmer's 450 that I use, is pretty good at sticking things down. I think it's a bit like Fabri-Tac. We can't actually get Fabri-Tac here in Australia. Not to my knowledge anyway. Maybe you can, but I think I might have seen it somewhere, but it was incredibly expensive compared to this, so I never bought it. So if you know of somewhere that's good to buy Fabri-Tac that's cheaper, then, you know, I think they want about $45 for a bottle this size, which is just outrageous. So, just that little bit of lace on there is really enhancing it, and it's personalising the papers. So that goes in there. Writing on there, you can write on the back here, and you've got a nice little tuck spot in there. And then on this, I'm not sure what I want to do on this, but I think what I do want to do is I want to take some of that leftover stuff I have, and maybe I can put an envelope on here or make an envelope to go on here. And this is the bits that I've cut off, and I found an envelope which is probably the perfect size. Look at that. It's just a old envelope that I had in my stash. And I don't know whether these will fit on here. I think that'll fit on there okay without the issue, although it's just over. Let's see. These are the 4-inch pieces that are left over. So I have to be careful that I don't use something, you know, like I said, with the bugs. Do I want the bugs going sideways like that? Probably not. But equally, I want to use these leftover pieces. So it's a bit of a quandary, isn't it? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off. And I also need to cover these, so it's quite a large piece that needs to be covered. Okay, and then I need to also cover this piece here. So again, we've got quite a large surface to cover there. However, I just had a thought. I've got the back of the book. What's on that? Okay, so on the back of the book is this cardstock that I can use to cover this, because I want to hide this. But I'll probably cut these off before I do it, because those edges I can use on something. It's really only this bit that I can't. So I'll probably cut this down first and then use the leftover. The other thing with this one is it doesn't have to be directional. Even if you put it up this way, it doesn't look like it's upside down or right side up. So that's a definite yes. And it gives me contrast between these pages, or that bit that will show and this bit. I have cut this out, which is the back page, and before I did, as I said I would, I took the 2 strips off the edges of the back page. And I'm going to put this on here, but before I do that, I just want to see how this is going to fit. I've also cut down the flap of the envelope because I didn't need it to be that big, and I'm going to cover this anyway. And just as I did that, I had the thought that this piece I just cut off would cover that perfectly and create some contrast between this and this. I was going to do a little pocket here, but I think now I'm just going to stick all this down on here. And I can still do something else on here later if I want to. So the first step will be to take the envelope and cover it. Now, I just wanted to mention as I'm working that if you have any ideas for videos, can you leave them in the comments below? I'm happy to have a go at anything pretty much. And if you leave me a comment and let me know what you'd like to see me do, then I think that would be great. And you never know, if I pick what you've asked me to do, I might just send you a little something as a thank you for being involved. So I'll cut this down. I did trim this down before I put it on, but it's still just slightly shy of where it needs to be. And I didn't want to cut it in the trimmer in case I cut the edge of the envelope off, which would kind of defeat the purpose really. So yeah, if you've got any ideas, anything at all, I will try my hand at anything really. So that's the story. Now on this side, I want to put something in here. I'm wondering if that would go in there, which it will. And I also need something on the outside. Now obviously I need a bigger piece than what I've got here. But where is the rest? Okay, I'll put the other side of this because I know that that's going to be big enough to fit on here. And then I'll tuck this one in inside it, so you've got that. I probably don't need to, I need to tuck probably at least that, because when you're opening your envelope up, I'll have to stick that down too. When you're opening your envelope up, you don't want to see the cream of the envelope too much. I'm just cutting this around so that it will fit on top of the envelope where the cutout is. think that should be pretty good now. I'll stick this down. It's come up a little bit as well because it's, as I said, it was just in my stash. It's just an envelope that I happen to have in there. It's nothing special, but it's going to look great in the journal, and it's going to repurpose the envelope as well, so that we're not using everything that's new. Although I do use a fair few new products because a lot of the stuff that I do is for classes, and I try to incorporate my own stuff in them, but I also need to be mindful that I do classes on behalf of a bricks and mortar store, and they need to sell things. So it's a bit of a balancing act, really. And then I cut this other piece, which is going to go in here. Down and get some glue in here for a start. Put it up to the edge. Oh. And then this piece gets stuck down on here. Like this. And then this piece can go over the top of it. Just I won't look that after. Alright, so I just need to put some glue onto here, up to where it's going to go on top. And I'll probably run a little bit of washi down there, I think, just to get rid of that line that's there, because you will see it when you open it up. I may even put some washi down here, so I've just shortcut that ever so slightly, so I'll put some washi there as well. I do have this washi which is going to tone in quite well, but it's quite wide. So I'm wondering if I can, for at least this piece here, or if I should wait and try and find a thinner washi in these tones, because this is about the only one I've got. I could do the brown one, but I've only got sort of clocks, and I'm not sure that they tone in very well. The other thing I've got is got butterflies on it, but it's black and white, and I don't know how well that's going to look on there. I just think it's the wrong thing. I want something with butterflies on it, but preferring the greens and the browns. So I think that that's going to be it at the moment. I'm going to leave that until I find the correct washi tape for it. I've got plenty of washi, but of course nothing matches. So I'll have to find something that's going to go better with that than what I've got at the moment. And before I move on, I'm thinking I'm going to put something onto here as well. maybe one of these botanicals that I can make into a bit of a tuck spot there. So again, I can just do it on the two sides and then have something that tucks into it like I did on that other page back here, on that one. But this time do a smaller one. And for now I'm going to call that a day because I think I've got enough done, and I do want to go and get that washi or find some washi. But of course it's Sunday, so unless I buy it online, I probably can't get it today. And also I want to be able to work out what else I'm going to do for the journal, because that can put something like that in here. Obviously I have to cut that out and put it up the right way. So that's going to be it for today. I've done a couple of things and I've really sort of got some inspiration from these papers. I want to go and find some washi that's going to match these papers a little bit better before I continue on with this project. So I will be back in a different video to finish it up, or at least do some more on it. And until then, thanks very much for watching.